It's issue night. I gotta turn it off with Mike and Tony and Jay. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Issue Night, where we talk about important and serious issues of the day. We even make it interactive, so we do have a chat box. So if you're watching, please feel free to question or comment on our chat box. The first question, just make sure you can hear us. So anyone out there want to verify that, they can do that. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell. Don't forget to brush your teeth. Anything else, Tony?
In that order.
In that order?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So why don't we maybe try our first set of issues, which we like to call the Galaga issues. Okay, so these look like video games. You walk into a hockey rink, you walk into a tavern, you walk into a birthday
Two
party.
men walk into a bar.
That's not what... All right, there are games out there. It's called Galaga. You could put in quarters. You can move here. Do we have a picture?
No.
You can move
It's
the...
called Galaxy
there we go.
Galaga.
Okay. Thank you for the history.
They shorten the name, yeah.
Okay. So this is kind of what it looks like. You put in quarters, but little do you know, you're actually participating in a perpetual war. You're actually helping this war to continue. Is that right, Mike?
Jerry was brushing his teeth. And does that mean he can hear us now? When I see Jerry...
Oh, he was brushing his teeth, so he couldn't hear
you.
us.
I was brushing my teeth.
Okay, so I think that does mean he can hear us, because I did make the comment of not forgetting to brush your teeth.
Well, no, maybe he can hear when he brushes his teeth. You know,
it's kind of noise. Yeah, like tooth noise.
Yeah,
like the brush noise.
Right
in your mouth. There's a canal that connects your ear to your mouth. That makes sense.
Yeah, I still don't know if people can hear us, but just keep going, Jay.
Okay. Well, I'm asking you, Mike. Like, when I play this game, am I perpetuating this war? That's
Jay,
going
you
on?
are in the war when you're playing this game. You are part of the war. You're part of the problem, Jay. Really, though, the war has been going on since the 80s when it started. I remember. Do you remember, Tony? The 80s.
The 80s.
Remember that?
Yeah.
St. Francis High School, Jerry? Remember that? 80s. So So what happened?
There's that right next to the old post office, that game.
Yeah, it was
place.
right. They had discs of Tron too, which I liked. So basically, they use the same machinery, the same weaponry. You know, look at this. This hasn't changed. This guy here.
Okay, so you're a spaceship and you fight insects. Is that right? You fight. It looks like some type of bee, stinging, blue-winged insect, and then these butterflies get out there.
Butterfly in the sky. Sound is on. Good. Thank you, Buff Lifesavers. Yes. Okay. Can I get rid of that little thing that keeps popping up? There we go.
Okay.
So the real problem with Jay, so these guys pretty much just do war nonstop. The only time they take breaks is when they run out of money.
Okay. Then they can take some breaks, some R&R, get some rest, reload on the weaponry.
So there's little ships and the butterflies and stuff.
In the sky. Why the senseless violence, Tony? Though why these ships?
Well, they're just defending themselves, right?
But
I mean, you're at the
continuously
bottom.
in war.
Yeah, but Mike, here's the thing: is once you're done with these, if you clear all these away, there's a whole new set of bees and butterflies, right, Tony? That's some kind of infestation that these.
It does seem endless. I mean, where do they keep coming from?
Right, but why can't they just get along? Why can't they just get together? I mean, I've never seen the humans. I don't see who's in the ships. You just see the ships.
Well, I mean, we're feeding it by putting quarters in, right?
Right, and they can make more ships.
They make more ships. I mean, it's amazing. It still only cost a quarter. That's why maybe the ships haven't changed.
True,
because the price hasn't gone up.
But exactly why? So we put quarters in it. We perpetuate it. When the quarter runs out, though, then what do we have?
Well,
what's
you're out
going
of
on?
ships.
I know, but you still see them fighting, but there's no sound, and they're moving as if there was war. It's almost like they want war.
So they put war on hold? Is that what there's kind of like a timeout?
It's like, listen, give me more money for war. Like they're advertising war during the breaks. You know what I'm saying?
So I can't read this many zeros, but it looks like Mr. Flanagan is saying, oh, there we go, that, what is that, 20,000 is the bee body count Not that many if you really think about it. So
what that means.
that's like your high score. It's saying, hey, you just exterminated 20,000 of these bees that are coming down and trying to sting you. So, he's right. That's a high score. Guys got
Have
20,000.
I done it though, Jay? Have I destroyed them? I mean, am I part of the war? Am I? Are
It's
these
like
people,
Ender's
are they
Game,
real?
Mike. Yeah, it's like Ender's Game. So you're playing. This is from far off, but yeah, you're controlling that ship from far away to that Galaga game. There's wires.
Well, you're pretty close,
Those wires.
though.
That's internet, Mike. They have
That's
internet out there.
Yeah, those wires on the.
Tony,
that
how do you
ship-
get Wi-Fi into a far off galaxy? Like, how do you do that?
You got to compress it, and then you got to send it, and then you got to.
It's warp Wi-Fi,
Expand
Tony.
it.
I don't want to get off track here, but warp. You just came up with the idea. Warp Wi-Fi. You
Yeah.
could actually compress the signal before it leaves,
Right.
and
So
then
it gets
uncompress.
there.
Actually, you got a warp communication device.
Right. Yeah. So that's how it gets there so fast.
Right. I don't want to get off the topic here, but
Right.
gravitational waves. You should be able to. If aliens are out there using warp drive, gravitational waves will be able. We'll be able.
We
to
should be able
determine.
to detect
Right.
the gravitation
Well-
from it moving.
Right. Not to
Buffalo Lifesaver's good point. I mean, this may be affecting us. I don't know if you guys noticed. We don't have as much honey as we used to. We don't have as many bees. People are
Yeah.
playing this game.
Well,
They're
that's why I'm
exterminating
wondering.
bees.
Are these real bees, or are they like we call them bees, but they're really hornets, like yellow jackets?
Well, they're trying to figure out what is decimating the bee population in our area. I mean, this to me, this is obvious. Like, you're going to shoot bullets at bees, and they may capture your ship, but if you hit it, you get the ship back. Now you got double fighters. Everyone knows like double bees don't stand a chance on double fighters.
Yeah. What's interesting, Jay? So basically, they've taken. That's why the bee population has decreased, Tony. They've taken these bees because they're running out of ships. They don't have the money. They take the bees to this
And they send them into
universe.
space.
Send them to space. What's amazing is they've trained them to like be in line with each other and stay
Synchronize,
there.
yeah,
Synchronize and come
synchronized
down. I
bees.
think they have some sort of device on their ears.
None of that makes sense to me, but I'll tell you, all I know is I don't have apples this year, and I'm sick and tired of this. Like, year after year, and we're like, hey, kids, we're going to pick apples. And I'm like, I don't have any apples for me and my kids to pick, and we don't have enough pollinators. We don't have enough bees. People keep putting quarters in. They keep exterminating these bees. There needs to be something.
Jay, you need to buy a pollinator tree. I just bought an apple tree. You need to buy a pollinator tree. I'll go with your other tree to get apples. It's just the bees can't do it without the pollination.
So you need a tree, you need a pollinator tree, and you need bees.
You do.
Wow, that's a lot.
We would be done without bees. I mean, I don't think people realize.
And what you don't need is squirrels, because they eat everything, at least in my yard.
So instead of playing Galaga and putting in the quarters, you're saying I should put the quarters towards the pollinator tree.
I'm saying, Jay, don't put the quarter in. I'm saying don't, Jay. Don't put it in. I mean, don't have the temptation to put the quarter in the game. I mean, it's not a game. It's a real. I don't know what they are, Tony. I mean, they're
But then
not
he's
real.
got all these quarters. What's he going to do with them?
Well, I
all?
got to buy a pollinator tree.
He
Oh,
could.
Well,
Yeah.
with the quarters.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you have the real bees. But I mean, you're just perpetuating them stealing these bees and these bugs. And I don't know. That's all I'm saying.
all right.
What we got? Space honey is good, but not that good.
What's black and yellow and flies at 30,000 feet?
It's Pittsburgh Penguins.
Okay, fair enough.
That's it. Yeah.
If you just joined us, you're watching Issue Night. We talk about
join
important and
us.
serious issues today. We even inform. So we're going to get on to our second set of issues, which I'm not ready for, but now I am. Here we go.
Oh,
Star Trek issues. Not sure why we have this issue up, Tony.
so Star Trek, the historical documents of the future space missions.
The final frontier.
Yeah, and so we've got Star Trek, we got the Next Generation, and then that we had that accident, that reboot accident. Are you familiar with what happened?
Yeah, there was a. Go ahead, Jay.
No.
No, I just
have no
yeah.
idea.
Well, I mean, you had some Spock did some wacky things in one of the documentaries, and then something happened. We went back in time. He destroyed this guy's father, and they came back
Yeah.
in time to try to catch Spock at the moment. But then
Yeah, so the USS Calvin was investigating a lightning storm, and a Romulan ship emerged out of the lightning storm, and George Kirk was like second in command or something, and to save the crew, he smashes the ship into the lightning storm or something like that. But that changed the timeline.
Well, also your insurance rates go up. Kids, you should be
Yeah.
ramming ships anywhere, anything
Pay
and
for a new-
anything.
yeah, Starfleet needed a new ship and
Well,
everything.
that wasn't even a real ship. It was like a mining ship, like it's way in the future.
The future mining ship, came out of the lightning storm.
Right.
And
It wasn't even like like a bulldozer today. Like
Yeah. Yep.
the power of it wasn't.
But it changed everything.
It changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything changed. You had Spock, Data Glahora, and all these different
Right.
things going on, which we weren't used to.
Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria.
But unfortunately, it happened again. So,
All right.
so Geordi was driving an electric vehicle.
Wait, who's Geordi?
Geordi, Next Generation Geordi.
I went to
okay.
school with Jody.
And
Okay.
he's
Wait, is
got
this
the
a
glasses.
girl or a guy?
The guy.
A guy.
Yeah, isn't he
Okay.
like?
He's got the comb for the eyes, Jay.
All right, here we go. We got a picture of him.
Do we? No, it's Galaga. Okay,
Hold on.
No, it
There
looks
it goes.
amazing.
There we go.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, that's him.
So hold on
No,
though.
he's
Why
got-
does he have a headband
Yeah,
on
he's-
his eyes?
Well,
think
that's
it's-
interesting.
it's a comb,
story.
right?
It's no,
No.
it's not.
Not a headband, Tony. Comb is what
Headband.
combs your hair.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs his hair combed there. It looks pretty good, but
But he put it over his
that's a
eyes
headband.
because he didn't have sunglasses, so he used that instead of sunglasses.
But
one
why
day.
does there like if you look at the picture behind him, you see like the little like you could kind of see like there's some type of mesh there or some gate. Like what does that do?
I don't know.
So
that-
apparently he was driving an electric car, an electric vehicle. He hit 88 miles an hour, which of course can affect time, and it got rebooted again.
Oh,
So before most people know, before Geordi was drafted by Starfleet, he was selling books.
yeah.
He had these kids. They do book reviews. They had a whole rainbow full of books, and they would
Wait,
sell
what
books.
year was he selling books, Tony?
That was like in 1980, back
Okay,
to the 1980s.
so that's the headband because they're saying it's the headbands from the 80s. So here's a picture of him selling, or is this him with books? Yeah,
Selling books, yeah.
yeah. So he's selling books.
Yeah, doing book reviews and everything else.
Wait, did he do book reports, Tony? Like, if I wanted to pay him and say, "Hey, I have a book report too, but I don't feel like doing it," would he do that for me?
Well, I mean, there are kind of public domain. They were broadcasted, so if you
so if I needed
saw
a book, report,
that you liked, I suppose you could. That'd be plagiarism, but you could do that. Yeah.
okay, good to know.
There's
Yeah.
a story of a man named Brady.
So in the reboot, like in the original version, he gave up his career with the books and went on to Starfleet and got the visor.
Yes, right.
And the reboot, he does both.
He does both what? But sells books and goes in
And
the
is
future?
in Starfleet.
Here's the thing: is like we need him. What is he? An engineer? So we need him
So-
in like really manning the ship and not selling books on the side. Like this is the problem. Is like the ship. Half the time I watch this guy, the ship's in trouble, and I'm like, Jordy, why aren't you on that? How come you didn't anticipate that? And now we know he's sitting there off on the side selling the books. He's on the internet. He's always on the internet. Always on the internet. And this is why I advocate get the internet off these starships. I mean, they don't need internet on there. They need to pay attention to their jobs, and we need to get the internet off of there. They're on there too much screen time.
Jay, I think he's trying to promote science. STEM, some time explaining money. I don't know, but he's trying to help the world. Jay, it'd be a better place. It's a better place. You know what I'm saying?
I've tried it.
Yeah, and reading's good. So if he can, use his friends to sell these books, I mean, why is that a bad thing?
All right, we got to get to this important question: is the Enterprise electric? I know the legislation went through. All Starfleet ships had to go off of warp, pollution, fossil fuel, whatever, and now they're electric. Or are they electric?
Hence the lightning storms that they're trying to get electricity from. Sure.
They are.
Okay.
Well, that's how the first one happened, right? They got too close to the lightning storm.
I remember that one.
Yeah. So they're doing these book reviews, and they're pushing the classics. So, Worf,
Eat a good book lately, Worf?
The Little Klingon Who Could,
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Good.
and Lahore Here's a What,
A who?
a Who,
Or here's a who.
Lahore Here's a Who, followed by Lahore Here's a What.
And why?
Yeah.
But
And go ahead.
again, he's distracting these people. Isn't Lahore? Isn't she communications? Like it, they're not.
Right.
Messages
that's why she
aren't getting
hears
across.
stuff.
Their ship gets hit with a torpedo, and someone should have been on the horn. Hey, what are you doing? But instead, she's making a child's book. She's not at her station. I have problems
Well,
with
she
that.
doesn't make the book. Other people wrote the book about her.
Well, she heard a who, Tony. There's a story there she had
Yeah.
to tell. I mean,
But Geordi's just selling them. He's using his influence in Star Trek to sell these books, which, again, who doesn't want our kids to read books? 1,
2.
2, okay.
Not the books that are in the library today.
No. We don't want
What I'm
that.
really concerned about is the Star Trek Olympics, Tony. That's what I'm really
Oh.
because I think we're talking about different skills and abilities. And as you know, the Star Trek Olympics is starting this year. So you're going to have like Geordi go against Spock. You have Lahuro. I'm not
Lahura.
confused.
Who?
The hero.
Yeah.
The hero. She's the communications person. Then you have, what's the counterpart?
I think she was
Was
by
that Spock
herself.
too?
So
I mean,
could have been. But
in the next gen, who was the communications specialist?
wasn't it?
Oh,
It was that Irish guy. Was that that Irish guy?
No. It was
What's
it
the-
was the
the
girl that could
girl.
like mental telepathy, like
Oh,
totally,
right,
totally
yeah.
cheapo.
Okay.
Like she could like read your mind.
Yeah, she was on the. I think they just
scared.
they put that on there to make it a safe space. So yeah.
Anybody else
Um,
saying? No.
So, what does he do when there's a battle? When they're supposed to be at battle stations? So, is he allowed to sell books? Is that against regulations? What are we supposed to do?
Well, I mean, he could sell anything he's written, and anything he's sold, anything he's bought and sold and written. In that
And is
order.
authorized. to-
authorized to sell,
Yeah.
buy, and bought resin. Yeah.
Very If you just
Nice.
join us, you're watching Issue Night. We talk about the important and serious issues of the day, and we're going to get into our third set of issues, which are called nomenclature issues.
Oh, get it out of there! Fly it out! Fly it out! Fly it!
Yeah, okay.
Fly it out, Jay!
There it goes. All right, so Tony, I still don't know what this word means, so why don't you explain it to people?
Nomenclature has to do with the words or something.
No, it doesn't. It's no men. Clay-ture, right? So clay bird, a clay dog, a clay
Censor.
Sure.
clay sure. No men, clay sure.
Deanna Troy. That was her name.
Dana Troy, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely. I mean, Troy would. She's telepathic. It's telepathic. She's telepathic. Is that a word? Telepathic. She's telepathic. She can like. She totally runs circles around
Yeah.
a hero. Although
Yeah.
Turner's who are her. That her girl.
Yeah.
And she knew words too, so she
They did.
She probably be into
But
nomenclature.
Spock versus Data. Come on. I mean, Spock versus Data in the Olympics. Who wins, Tony?
Wow. Well, what event?
Good point. I guess.
Like chess or that 3-dimensional chess thing?
I
'Cause
mean,
I bet on the Wookiee every
okay,
time.
good point. But Spock could connect with people mentally, so he knows what they're thinking.
Ooh.
Data could calculate quickly, and Spock was pretty smart. What would you rather have, Spock or Data on your ship, Tony?
On my ship?
You know
I
what
like
I'm saying?
Spock. Yeah, I'd go Spock.
You have a
I
ship?
don't-
Data's
I don't
pretty strong though.
Yeah.
I mean, you could trade a Worf and a Spock for a Data. I would say. I mean, the Worf's kind
Oh.
of strong, but
Yeah.
if as long as he wasn't
But
on
Data's
waivers.
smart and strong.
Well,
Right.
Data is like the Bionic Man. Or I think he is.
Data is the Bionic
It
Man.
is Bionic Man.
Right.
And then he's smart.
But he has, but every limb of his body's been altered.
Well.
That's the only thing.
we're technically on another issue. We're on that.
I know,
that
but the
word
Olympics
issue.
is so exciting. I don't know why we're talking about it. Why we're talking about Geordi. I mean,
No.
who is the comparison to Geordi, Tony? I mean, he couldn't see. He could see. Who was it?
Was he a science guy?
He was a science guy. So who would
Oh.
that be? Anybody out there?
Bill Nye.
Okay,
Well,
but he was not on. He was not on any. of the
He's a
documentaries.
science guy, though.
True, but not
So
related.
the original documentary was Scotty.
Scotty was okay. So Scotty was wasn't he the engineer?
Yeah.
So Geordie was engineer. Geordie had the vision thing. You know, he
Right.
augmented things. You know,
I don't know. I think I seen Scotty type really fast.
he does.
Yeah.
He's pretty smart.
Yeah.
But I mean,
And he did that whole.
They actually cut away on that shot. I think someone else was typing.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Close up.
I know.
computer. Oh,
That's right. Okay.
So nomenclature has to do with words, and the English language has got a lot of words.
it does. Most of the other dialects have a lot of words also.
as well. But the English language is pretty good because, like, if you don't have a word, you can invent words. Like CD-ROM, like wasn't a word and now it is, kind of thing. So it's great that we've got this
True.
flexibility, but it's caused problems because, like, we don't know what words mean anymore or where they came from.
Do we not know what words mean because we forget what they mean, Tony, or have we chosen to make up a new meaning?
Well, I think whoever made up the meaning of the word had good intentions, but maybe they got it wrong. Like ether, they thought was in
Ethernet.
the air, and yeah, they repurposed it for the Ethernet.
Right.
But originally it was something
But
else.
then there's the beauty of words. You know, there's bridging words. You know, consequently, subsequently, nonetheless, nevertheless, therefore. Those are great words for getting A's on papers.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, just Flanagan brings up, CD-ROM. They retired as it were in 2007. I think he's right because last time I was in the KeyBank Center, I saw on the rafters CD-ROM.
HFVC.
I didn't understand what that means. Now I do.
Oh.
So they retired. They had the jersey.
Crossroads
You know,
Arena, Jay.
so you can't say CD-ROM anymore. So
Well, as a reference,
You
to
did just say it,
they-
Jay.
Well,
you
I'm
did
just saying
just
they
say it.
retired the
gone
word.
by eras,
But
right?
when they retire the word, Jay, does that mean it's not in the dictionary, but you're allowed to
no,
use
it's
it?
the same thing. Like it's the jersey goes up to the top of the rafters, and
Yeah.
people.
Do you
just
get
know.
Medicare when the word's retired? I don't know what that means. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the word doesn't get played anymore because they're retired.
We're playing it right now. I mean,
Yeah.
what?
Well, we're referencing the word, but we're not playing the word.
Yeah, you can't put in. There's no stats for the word. The word can't really participate if the word gets on the ice. It needs to get off. You know, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, just for show, you go out there. But
Yeah.
so the words we're talking about are interstate and intrastate. Okay.
Very different words, but very similar except for one letter.
Yeah. We have a graphic.
Oh, we do?
Oh,
It's,
okay,
It's
yeah.
kind of a half
I'm going to show
graphic.
Jordy for a second. There we
There
go.
we go.
Inter versus
intra.
intra.
Yeah, so we don't know what these mean. They have to do with roads, like the government uses
Oh,
them
why did he go
Oh,
there?
sorry.
to,
what do you got
to
here?
describe roads,
Uh-huh.
interstate roads and intrastate roads.
Okay.
And nobody knows which is which.
No.
Well, intergalaxy and intra-galaxy, Tony?
Same thing. Like, you don't know if you're in the galaxy
I
or
never
out of the
use it.
galaxy.
Yeah. I'll use one or the other, and then I know I'm right.
Inspection and introspection, Tony?
So how do we know which one is which?
I mean,
I think what we need to do is fix it.
just fix it. Just fix it.
Yeah,
I agree.
So like interstate, intrastate. One of them has to do with roads that are just in your state,
Okay.
and then there's roads that go to other states.
I would say that intra is inside. Intra, I believe it. Is that Latin, Jay?
Well, again, you can use either one if you want. I mean, Flanagan says there's a nomenclature society, and that kind of makes sense. I guess Andrew Cuomo runs it or something like that, and yeah. Oh, kind of like the C and the AC
Right, because they
buttons on
do
your
the same thing. The C button and AC do the same thing, right?
See, every time I hit one, I'm like, I got to start over. If I hit that AC, I just start over because I don't know what it did. I don't know what secret, where my numbers went, if they went to the government, and I want them going in the government. So I just erase. I take the calculator, I scribble out like the thing, the solar thing. I wrap it in tinfoil and I bury it.
What thing, Jay?
The
What's-
calculator.
You scribble out the calculator?
Well, I scribble out the solar panel, and then I.
But it doesn't work when you do that.
That's the point. I don't want it to work because I hit the AC button. I don't want my numbers going to the government. So,
But the calculator is not connected to the government anyway.
like everything's connected.
Stops working, right?
Well, it stops working because you're putting your hand over the. Well, if you rub out it's not going to work.
Right.
I don't want it to work because I don't want the government.
But
getting
don't
the
you need it
numbers.
to do it for your test?
I rather put in tinfoil and bury it rather than take the risk. I'd rather just buy a new one. Like
What's the risk, Jay?
so.
risk
if
of
the
you
government gets my numbers, they're going to know what I'm calculating.
But
I don't
what
want
numbers you typing in it that even make any
that.
sense?
I'm not going to tell you, and I'm not going to say that on the show.
But you're not
so,
putting your social security numbers in it. You're not like
No.
Are you?
like they're just my numbers, and that's all. I wanna
Okay,
say.
so are these the same numbers you use for the lotto?
I'll feel safe now.
So interstate and intrastate, I don't really know what the difference is. So what I think we should rename these like I think one should be interstate.
How
like
about biostate and biostate? Like if you want to buy a
Yeah.
state and
Or
then
Mia State,
Well,
Maya
what,
State.
what should we mean if it's just a road in the state? When interstate makes sense? INN here?
in the state,
In the state?
in the state,
Yeah.
and between the states.
Well, like what if you're going to other states? Wouldn't that be like exterior or exerstate? Thinking exerstate.
Out of state. No.
Outer
No,
state?
that's not good because you want to say you've gone from your state, which is in the state, to out of state. How do you say that? Interstate.
But see, outer state
Outer
can be
space.
the space, like space above that state. You know what I mean?
It could be.
Like
We
you
got
want
outer space and inner
above-
space,
yeah,
right?
above that.
Inner
yeah.
space is within you, within your
Not space, states.
ethos. States.
Exerstate. We want to go to other states.
Exerstate.
So
I don't know.
again, you got to use either inter or intra, and you're right. So either one.
Just use them interchangeably.
That's my guess. But
Okay. I think we should reword them to mean either that or we should like only make roads that stay in the state.
Well, Flanagan points out there's a nomenclature society, nomenclature society.
All right.
So that's probably similar to what they did in that documentary where they meet in a cave and they read poetry, but instead they read words like intra and inter to each other. So
if
you
we-
might have to join that, Tony.
Yeah, but if we end the road like at the state line, then we don't have to worry about it.
What if we only drive on state lines, Tony? Maybe that's the only way to get across states.
Like state line road. So you circle the state.
to get around, to get to,
Yeah.
I don't know how
So-
you actually.
So
get-
that's a good idea because I'm thinking I got this road that ends at the New York border.
right.
And then I get the PA and they've got their own road maybe down the road. And you got to get there somehow.
Tom,
Right.
the road doesn't end. You just got to pay the toll. You pay like a $25 toll, then you can drive on. So
Well, not if we just have state roads and get rid of the federal roads.
you
Now-
still have to pay the toll.
Well, either way, yeah. Well, you got to pay somebody because they got to move your car from the New York road to the Pennsylvania road.
Okay.
I just did a quick search on ChatGPT. I said, "What if the only roads in states were on state lines?" Basically, asked ChatGPT that, and it said, "You basically you'd become much more isolated.
Oh,
Traveling between these locations would be challenging without designated roads connecting. You really have no roads except for those roads. Reliance on local resources, economic impact. Businesses relying on interstate commerce would face logistical nightmares."
Well, it would be like Tron.
And then
when
they
you
say
make the
infrastructure.
wall,
It would be
you know,
like Tron.
and you gotta stay within those.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Except you'd be going around in circles.
then
And maybe you
eventually-
couldn't hit your tail and you wouldn't die. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. That's all I have to say on that. Jay.
If you just joined us, you're watching Issue Night. Important, serious topics, and we're gonna get on to our last issue.
Go ahead, Jay. Do it now.
I'm trying to get to it. It is called.
Sodor issues.
Okay. So, for those who know, what's it called, Thomas the Train or something like that. There's they live in is it an island or a town? Not quite sure. A commonwealth of something called Sodor.
Welcome to the island of Sodor. Sir Thomas Doublehat. Not Sir Thomas. Thomas was a train. And James
Well, for sure, he's been knighted. I think.
Yeah.
that's
So
in my-
what's going on here, Jay? Is you have this town. I don't know where it is. It's kind of you ever watch the show Lost? They don't know where they are. Okay.
Normally, I can't find
That's
the
a good
show,
name
so I
for
can't.
It is.
Somebody.
If you
can't
could find the show, yeah.
So they have all these. They have all these these trains. Thomas, Gordon, all these guys, and they basically make them do servitude work. Jay, servitude work. So I don't know what that is, but they make them do it. They say
Servile.
James, I want you to go down to the docks at Brendan Bay and take this for me, and I'm not going to pay you anything except like coal.
Wow. Okay, so I'm getting an idea. This is a toxic work environment. Like
Toxic.
Okay. So, all right. Do we have a picture? Do we have a picture?
I don't know. No, I don't think so, Jay.
Oh, okay. It's not coming up.
I don't know. Get it. Go.
Oh,
on
that
there.
just went away. What? Oh, there we go.
There you go.
All right.
Okay. Now these are the guys. That's Diesel there. I believe his name is Diesel, and then you got
Diesel.
Thomas, and this could be James or Person. One of them's green, and then there used to be one here, but it was pulverized through bad work ethics.
Okay, so these trains are clearly scared. This is not a safe spot for these trains, they're like one is it crying? Are they able to do that, or are they just leaking?
Actually, his
something?
eye is pulled out, which is horrible.
Ooh.
But that's not the point. I don't want to focus on the negative.
Well, they're being harassed, I think.
Well, I mean they make him do work all day long.
Make
and
them do work, and then you've got a name like Diesel, and you're hauling coal. I
Knocked
mean,
out.
they're getting pummeled in the free press right now for that kind of stuff.
Right, and they're always happy. It's like Sir Thomas. You have been a great engine, Thomas. And he basically does whatever he wants to do whenever he wants. I want this, do this.
Yeah.
So I'm suggesting, it's fine. They've survived up to this point, but now with New York State laws affecting them, we're going to see a big change, Jay.
Oh,
I mean, because now with you can't burn coal in New York State anymore.
Oh,
you
that's
can't, diesel. They're trying to phase that out. So these engines are just going to be, pretty much not doing anything.
they have to sit there. They're basically saying you just need to stay in place.
So how would you feel, Jay, if you were just worthless? Like, here, Jay, I'm going to put you in a job. I'm not going to give you any tools to do it, and
Well,
just do
people.
it.
Some of these might like it. I mean, to be honest, not a whole lot gets accomplished there. Their economy's not, doing well. So if
There's
they
no
just,
intra-trade.
if they just get paid to sit there on the track and not to expend their fossil fuel, then maybe they might like it, Mike. It might actually improve things.
I might like it for a while, but don't you think they get bored? Would get bored eventually?
I mean, he seems sad. Tom seems sad whenever he's not being
Okay.
a good engine. Bumping my buffers, he seems sad.
I want to bring a point that Buffalo Lifesavers bringing up is it says if you ever got a piece of coal in your eye, it's not fun. So if we go back to the picture, I don't know if we're able to do that.
Oh yeah.
So that one with the eye out, this is the problem. You're saying, okay, you no longer can burn your fuel. You got to sit on the tracks. And then what happens? Kids come along, and we're just going to whip. We're going to see if we can get
Poke
the
their
coal
eye
in the
out,
eye.
yeah.
The old coal in the eye, and that's what happens. And now we got, we have a train there with coal in the eye. It's either crying or leaking a lubricant. That's making the environment even worse. I don't know what the solution is.
I don't know. I'm just sad that it's come to this that people don't care about these trains. That they write books about it and kids pretend like, hey, that's funny. Oh, that's great. But really, they're being abused, and it needs to stop. And
Yeah, and then again, they put in they're now scared of electric cars coming along and taking their jobs.
electric trains, Jay.
Electric trains.
Yeah.
I mean that's electric cars. You just kind of hook them together.
Yeah, you
and
could hook cars together and do a similar thing.
Chains and
Chains
yeah,
and
sure.
trains.
No. All right. All right. Well, anyways, I just want to thank everyone for participating today, participating in the chat. Good thing you can hear us, and we just want to encourage everyone to tune in next time for another edition of.
Are we gonna keep going? Or you gotta go. You gotta go home. What are you doing?
No, we're gonna do show 2.
Show
right?
2. Show 2. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, join us next time for Issue.
Interesting. That last one, not sure where it was going with it. Had an idea, didn't go anywhere. But
I could have contributed.
I like the what's the issue we did before? I like Star Trek was good, Tony. That was fun.
Okay.
I like that.
Anyone on the chat? So can they chat or not now, or can they?
They
hear
can.
us?
I just don't know how long it takes.
Are we extra loud? Because I'm seeing our audio is like peaking in the red.
Yeah, let us know if we're
bit.
distorted or something. I
Yeah.
can lower that. There's a way to do that.
You did something. Yeah.
Yes. We're taking a break right now for there's only 5 people and they know us that we're going to come right back into show 2 any second now. We got the shows
So
lined
Tony,
up.
do you want to do your nomenclature issues again?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll do
I
that.
want to try to turn down
Book
the
tree.
sound a
So it'll be
little bit.
3 issues.
Check.
And we're doing the sensor
Hello.
test.
Yes.
Yes.
All right,
I'm
there
gonna
we
do
go.
that first.
I lowered it a little bit. Okay. Little
Right.
bit lowered. Okay, that should be
Buffalo
good.
Lifesaver says, "Don't mess with the audio." It sounds good.
Oh, no,
okay.
Jay, come on.
I
Jerry says,
I didn't
"Sounds
ask you to. I
great."
just
Oh, we're
asked
gonna
them
put
if
it back.
sounded-
We're putting it
sounded-
back. Okay, this is a little
All right.
hot. We'll just go a tiny bit lower. Okay, good. Okay, so ready to go.
Yeah,
do you have
so-
the issues all set?
Yeah. First one's censor test. Then the book tree. Then nomenclature more issues.
We only have 3 people, so we lost 2
Okay.
people.
We lost 2 people. Okay.
Or was
right.
that you, Tony?
Past my wife's bedtime.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Right.
Sure. Okay.
So
Are we ready?
when we do the censor test, just
I'm not sure what that is, but don't tell me.
okay.
I'd rather not know.
Just join in. Just okay.
Yes.
Just join in.
As you can
Make it-
see, we
make it
can
chaotic,
we can put your comments up. I don't know how delayed they are. Do you guys know how many seconds after you type them? How long does it take for the comment to actually reach us? Like when you see it on the air. Actually, sometimes we get it before I put it on the air, but
Okay. They've been pretty good, Mike. They've
Yeah?
been kind of
Not
right
that
with
delayed.
what we're
Okay.
talking about. So
all right, I'm ready.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Ready, stand by. Ready? Here we go.
Good.
Bop. Beep,
20 or 30 seconds.
hey, buck.
And Jay, I'd like to thank you for joining us for another edition of Issue Night. If you've never seen this show before, we talk about important and serious issues today, issues you normally don't see in the papers or in the headlines. We also inform whenever we can. So don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell. And also, you can participate in our chat. We have a chat going. You can, the people are saying, seems like something, not quite sure why they're saying, but whatever. You can participate. Hope to hear from you. Why don't we get on our first set of issues,
Do it.
which we like to call. All right, this is something we do on the show periodically. It's a censor test. So these are words you really just shouldn't use on the internet,
censor.
actually on YouTube. So we're going to just rattle off some words, and it's just a test. So just bear with us. If you want to participate in the chat, you can.
I wasn't, Jay, I wasn't ready for this.
No, it's okay, Mike. I got
Can you
I
just-
got a whole
can you
list
just
here.
start,
you just say these words. Just say
okay,
these
I'll
words.
say
I'll
them.
put them out. Tone, can you see them? Just say any of these words here.
Any word?
Any of these words you can say.
I got.
Okay, can you read that?
No, I
Here.
can't
You know
see
what? What if I put it here?
Okay. You want you say them, and I'll move my mouth.
Okay, yeah. Then you just, if a word like it comes to your mind, say it.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. Censor test. Here we go. Jab, jab, jab. COVID,
COVID.
COVID. Stolen election.
Misinformation.
January
theories.
January 6 Patriots. Vaccine injuries. Vaccine injuries.
Inflated footballs. Inflated footballs.
Yeah. RFK Jr. RFK
Jab,
Jr.
jab. COVID.
Diesel.
COVID.
Woke.
Bat vaccine.
Woke.
Bat
Wuhan.
vaccine.
Wuhan. Fauci. Wuhan. Fauci.
It sounds like first word.
Trump. MAGA.
Woke.
MAGA. Ban books. Ban books.
Woke Boston Patriots.
Ban books.
Ban
what do we got?
COVID. Ban vaccine. I just know
Ban
vaccine.
vaccine.
Ban.
Okay.
Ban the vaccine.
All right. Good. Well done.
Conspiracy theories. I
Conspiracy.
said that right?
We didn't say that, but that was good. Okay.
Do that.
All right. That concludes our censor test. Appreciate you guys.
I might try that again, Jay, a little later. Is that okay?
Yeah. These are words.
We'll
you
have to run that
shouldn't
test
use.
periodically. So
Hold on, Jay. I got. Oh yeah. Go
Yeah,
do it.
and see how we
do.
do.
Jay. Do Jay.
So
Go ahead, do it,
okay,
Jay.
it's okay. All right, so we're done with that issue. So why don't we get on to our next set of issues, which we call it's our book tree.
Book tree. Book tree. Thank
Book
you.
tree.
All right, so
Thank
Mike,
you
what
for
is
the
going
book
on
tree.
with book trees now?
Jay, there's a new tree that's developed that grows books on it.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's been discovered by scientists in Japan, and this book. So it starts like you walk down the street and you see this tree, and there's books on
Is
it.
it those little Japanese-sized
Like
trees? or-
bonsai?
Yeah. Like the
Bonsai.
little ones? Are they
Dinosaur.
little books?
No, they're different size. Well, when they grow, they get to full size books. When they're small, when they grow a little bit, they're smaller books.
Okay.
And then if it's a newer tree, it might not be finished. You might have not all the pages are done.
So you don't need to pollinate these trees so that your books grow.
I have
the
no
way they
idea
should.
how these book trees came about. I have no idea.
Are they like genetically modified, like somehow that?
Unclear. We've just been discovering
Some
them.
are, and they
Yeah.
have warning labels on them. So
Oh.
you have to, if
Like
you get
right
that
on the
book,
probably.
yeah, it needs
This
to
book
say
has
it's
been genetically modified.
GMO book.
Grown.
It's GMO book. We've seen that. We see what they do. They spray them. They spray them with the Roundups, and it doesn't affect the book tree. But yet you can read the book. Supposedly it's safe to read, but
Oh.
The question is, are these books like if it was genetically altered or if it's AI writing these books? I'm not sure how the books are actually formulated. I mean, how do the letters grow?
So I think they spliced like the DNA. They spliced an AI bot into the
An AI
gene.
bot. Okay.
Yeah, and so it's writing the book as it's growing.
Right.
Right.
And I'm not sure. I mean, I've only heard about this. I mean, I'm not sure if the letters are getting bigger as the book grows, or if
Oh.
more letters are being written as the book grows, or if the later pages are written,
Yeah.
or if it's like a full size book, or what I'm saying. How is it growing? Like,
I like to do crosswords because I like those big letter crossword books.
I see. I mean, I don't.
well, you need to have a pen, Tony. If you do the crossword books with you, the pens don't grow. Just so you know.
Well, maybe that's next.
What part of the country are you in, Jerry?
Yeah, those trees aren't. I mean,
Well, he's not in Japan, obviously.
Right. Well, I've been seeing them here. I mean, I saw one. I mean, I didn't get to go up to it because it was
You're driving
science.
by, yeah.
Well, NASA had it,
Oh.
encased in some kind of vectoral splicectomy
yeah,
stuff.
you,
I don't know what
you
it
can't
was.
get into that. Well, yeah.
So like a force field or something.
It's like something
Yeah.
that's force fieldish.
Well, that's the thing is like, we want books accessible. We want them accessible to kids. And there we go. We put force fields around these things. And that's what's driving me nuts is that I can't get the book from the tree, and a lot of times I want the organic tree because I don't want GMO books. I'm sick and tired of,
you want wholesome books.
I want wholesome. I mean, they cost a little bit more, but I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to pay for it. I'm willing to pick my own. So I
Yeah.
know they've been treated the right way. So yeah.
Yeah, I have an audiobook tree too. It's not visible though, but yeah, I know what you're saying, Jerry. I just want to know why do we care? Really, I mean, why did I bring this up? I'm not sure.
Well,
Do you know why, Jay?
Yeah,
Why
I
brought
mean,
this
they,
up?
they got that old saying, books don't grow on trees, but now they do.
Right. And what about banned books? I mean, how's that work with banned books, Jay? You know about books. You're a librarian.
No, that's true. So that's going to make it a little bit trickier because with banned books, you get the book and it's banned and you're like, okay, I'm just going to throw this out because it's right on there. But
Right.
like, when it grows on the tree, what do I have to do? Do I have to prune it? Do I have to get a special person to prune it? Because I'm not allowed to look at banned books. So
And New York State's all about this now. They're about banned substances, aren't they? I don't know if this is a different issue, but I mean, they're banning books, right? They're like now marijuana's legal, right? Isn't
Yeah.
that crazy? Where do we live? I mean, we live in New York State, but why are they doing that? It's ridiculous, right, Jay?
Ridiculous.
I mean,
That's-
so
yeah.
if you ban a book and it just grows,
Well, what if-
I grew
yeah.
it, man. I didn't write it.
What if the book's made out of marijuana? I mean,
Okay.
maybe it's marijuana book
that's cannabis.
tree.
That's another banned word, by the way. Cannabis.
Oh,
Cannabis.
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 Can't say that. Okay.
No.
I
But
take it back.
what's your question, Tony? What's your question?
I don't
Vaccine,
think
jab, jab,
I
jab.
Had a question.
COVID.
I don't know.
Fauci.
I kind of like the idea though.
Fauci made COVID.
If I grow an all natural book,
Organic
that's
and organic.
organic
book.
and wholesome, and I know, and I pick it, when it's ripe, and give it to my kids and my grandkids. I know they're getting something wholesome.
Yeah, but Tony, cyanide also is natural, and you wouldn't give it to your kids. Actually,
not
That's a
wholesome,
great
though.
argument.
I
Mike.
don't
I never
know.
thought
Actually, I
about that.
don't
He
know
got you,
if
Tony.
cyan- I
That's a
don't-
really good argument.
Well, I don't know if cyanide
asbestos
actually is natural.
Asbestos
There you
is
go.
natural, so
There you
you
go.
could use that one. Yeah.
Chives are natural, and I wouldn't put them on any type of food whatsoever.
Oh.
I mean, really, have you eaten chives straight, Jay?
No, you don't do that. My kids did that. You didn't want to go near them for days.
Well, I'm thinking those
No.
little black things that you stick into the ham. What's that called?
Oh, those are
Those aren't chives.
Those are
Cloves. I'm thinking of cloves.
Yeah.
Cloves.
I'll bring chives next time.
Okay,
Okay.
actually put a clove in a chive.
Wait, are you getting cloves
Or
in these
vice versa.
books that are growing? Because man, those things are strong,
no,
man.
it had nothing to do with that. I just was getting sidetracked.
Oh,
But my
okay.
point about books is that, New York State's all about banning substances. Well, they say
Yeah.
they're banning
Yeah.
some things like oil,
Yeah.
So
fuel,
Trump, MAGA,
knowledge,
MAGA, vote Trump,
MAGA,
vote Trump, vote Trump.
vaccine.
So these
COVID,
banned
COVID.
books, is this like, like in the 70s you had Styx and Rush.
Oh yeah.
And,
There's unrest in the.
Oh, that's
forest.
what
There's trouble
Flanagan's
with the
saying.
Yeah,
He
the ban-
likes the
he
banned
likes
books.
the banned books. Is that what we're talking about here?
Or are they books
Hello?
with a band on it?
Hey, I'm doing a IssueNite episode right now. You're
Well,
on.
there-
Right now.
You got books about
Not really.
Styx.
I mean, I'm doing IssueNite right now. You
that
check,
are banned
check us out. I got
together
about,
with the
10,
Kiss
15
one.
minutes more. Climb
Because
down.
people like the Kiss band, but not anymore.
All right,
so
awesome.
they got to kind of
See ya.
put them together to try and get rid of them.
Wow.
I didn't
Okay.
catch any of that. I was talking to Mark.
Okay.
So
Tell me he shouldn't be calling during the show.
That's what I told him.
Okay.
there was more there, but I kind of lost. Do you have any other issues on here?
Okay. All right. We do. We got one more issue, and why don't we get on to that?
Get on to it, Jake.
Here is. Sorry, it is another.
Just move your mouth. Just move your mouth.
Revisiting
Nomenclature.
Nomenclature.
Purposely not going to remember that.
I don't know how to
So
change
Tony, what other words do we have to analyze this time?
Well, this time we've got the word biannual and the word
Biannual.
semi-annual.
That's the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But which is which?
Semi-annual will be twice a year, and biannual will be twice a year.
Yeah. So you can use the same one. It doesn't matter, Tony.
So they're synonyms or antonyms or...
Yes.
Oh.
Again, they both mean the same thing, so yes.
Well, they mean it in that context. Then they can mean be opposite. Depends how you use it, Tony.
Oh.
Okay, so
Context.
bi-weekly and semi-weekly.
Right. Which is which?
So if you're paid twice bi-weekly, does
I
that
should
also
be-
mean you're paid twice a week?
You
I'd
should be
rather
made twice a week. They tell me that. You're paid bi-week. I'm like, no, I'm not. I haven't seen 2 checks come in. I get one check, and I got to wait 2 weeks to get the other one. Someone's lying.
So what's the question?
Well, how do we fix it? I don't know which is which.
What's the 2 words again?
Biannual and semi-annual, or it could be bi-weekly and semi-weekly.
Wait.
Is it
Doesn't
like
that...
biannual, like a flower, biannual or perennial? I'm
Okay,
confused.
That's
Perennials?
like, you know what, Tony? He's right. One of that, the bi one means flower, and the other one, semi, that's a truck.
Yeah, I don't know the difference
So-
between those either.
So trucks, I don't know, trucks during the year or something like that. I don't know.
So you
Jerry?
get
perennial.
annual and perennial.
Well, perennial is like all the time, and annual is like every year,
Right. So which one's better?
all the time.
No, you want-
every year. I would say.
You want the one you don't have to plan again. You stick it in the ground once
Right.
and you're done. One and done. That's what you want.
Why? I mean, so they reseed. I think annuals reseed. I think they have flowers.
Well, some
they
you got to
seed.
plant every year and some you don't.
My wife actually they plant all these things and they remove them, the bulbs, and they store them and they plant them again.
Right.
I don't want anything to do with that.
Oh.
I don't want anything to do with that, Jay.
So is that a perennial or is that an annual?
It's a bulbable.
Yeah.
A
It
bubble?
shouldn't be perennial. It should be plant it once a year and walk away. That's what it should be. That's
Well,
the
that's
word
what
it
you
should
and I
be.
want, Jay.
It should be a hyphenated
One
word.
and done.
One and done.
I
Yeah.
totally if you're gonna plant. Okay, no offense. My
One and
wife
done
does
you will.
beautiful job on her flowers, but if I'm gonna plant a flower, make it food, make it edible. Like I mean,
No.
I don't know. My great grandma.
It'd have to be GMO, Mike, but yeah.
Gamo.
Gamo.
Was she on one? She was at one of those in those movies. Gamo. I know.
Yeah.
So plants. I like this talk. I mean, why don't you agree? Grow something that you can eat, right? I mean, and it maybe has flowers.
You can grow daylilies because you can't eat those. But
There's
if,
a lot
if
you
you
can eat.
pick them, they could have ticks on them. So you got to make sure you get the lime ticks off.
You can eat dandelions. My sister picked dandelions once. It was but they sprayed the lawn and we got sick. Remember that?
Grandma picked the dandelions and fed them to our sister.
But didn't she?
Wow,
pick them?
and she
Oh,
got
Graham did.
sick?
No.
No.
A little sick. I remember.
Well, that we called poison control, and
They said just don't do that again.
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she'll be fine.
OSHA.
Okay. Did they do that on the phone? Did they like?
They did that, but you couldn't see them do that because it's a phone.
Okay. All right. Flanagan has a good question. He says, if only there was a book where you can look up these words. But he said maybe it's banned as well.
Oh.
No, maybe it's
So,
a band.
It could be
Maybe
banned.
a band.
January 6th,
Covered,
January
maybe
6th,
a
January
band
6th.
covered.
Patriots.
COVID. Get the jab.
So
Vaccine.
So the band covered
Chlorofluorocarbons.
these words, like in one of their songs, maybe?
it could.
NASA.
It could.
So
Maybe one of the
annual,
words.
biannual.
Yeah.
Do.
So I think what we need to do is petition to change perennial because no one knows what that means. They're like, shoot, do I
Right.
buy that flower or do I got to plant it every year? Am I going to buy this flower this year and every year, or am I going to only buy this flower once? And that's
So we should name it one and doneal.
one and
annual.
doneal. Yeah,
One and
Doneal.
we all know what that means. So what's AI?
I mean, that's the
telling us
only
now,
one
like,
you want, really. Right?
Yeah, you don't want to plant every year. I don't know who does that. Who plants every year?
The plants plant every year.
Right, except them. But I mean, what person's out there planting?
My wife plants. My wife plants every year. She
Really?
plants. I mean, nonstop. I mean, she just loves it.
Wow.
She just loves being outside. She loves planting flowers and.
Why would you? If you can just plant it once and walk away, why wouldn't you do that?
Because I mean, you can't. Those are called weeds. I mean, you just plant it. You just whatever it is, you just do it. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand it. I mean, she loves it. It looks beautiful. Our house looks great.
Weeds you don't have to plant every year. You're right.
They just come back.
So, yeah.
That's a good point.
What?
I want to buy weeds that I have to plant every year.
Yeah. I don't even think you have to plant those, Tony. You just throw them on your lawn. And
Well, I know
somehow root
that's
up.
the ones I have now. They're always there. Those are the one and done weeds. I want the ones where you plant them and then next year you got to plant them again.
Okay.
And next year I'm not going to plant them, and then I won't have weeds.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Never thought about that. All right. If you just joined us, you're watching Issue Night, and we are done. That's all the issues we have. but
Thanks
we'd
a
like to
lot for being a
thank-
part of our team. You know,
Yeah.
just come back in next week, okay?
Thanks for everyone watching, and especially
Great
those
job.
long distance and participating in the chat. And can't wait to see you guys next time.
We appreciate
on
you. Is you not? Oh, what's my weed? Is that a bad song?